Hey guys, Ray from loveyourrv.com. Well, I'm back working on my waste tanks again. If you remember last summer, I attempted to repair a couple cracks in my black and gray tanks with this stuff called Plasti Mend. It's supposed to be a patch for ABS type plastic, which is what my tanks are made of. And it worked okay for a few months, but then started to crack again. So I noted that when I did an update when we were down south, and I put another layer of this stuff on, and it lasted again for a month or two, and then slowly started to crack in the same spot. Put another one on to get us back here, and it's just starting to crack again. So I have to say this stuff isn't working very well for my application. May work better if you're in an area of the tank, like a big flat area where you could actually glue on a second piece of ABS or something. But right where my crack is, it's up high on the tank in the corner, and there's a lot of stress in that area, so it seems to be just re-cracking all the time. So I thought about pulling the whole tank or replacing the tank. But I was down at a local marine store recently, and I came across this kit from West Systems Epoxy Plastic Boat Repair Kit. I looked up online, and a lot of people use it for repairing kayaks and stuff, but I saw that it is able to repair ABS. It's called a G-Flex epoxy adhesive. It's a two-part epoxy, but a claim to fame for it is it's even once it's cured, it stays flexible. So thinking with a little bit of flexibility, it might just do the job. This West Systems stuff is pretty good stuff. So let's see what's inside this kit here. I think it was only around 50 or 60 bucks Canadian for the kit, maybe less in the US. There's your two parts, epoxy adhesive and thickened epoxy adhesive. This is the resin and the hardener. Yeah, this stuff also is nice and thick, so that's going to help me because I don't want to, to put it on apply it to where the crack is and then have it just all drip down the tank. It should stay where I put it. Get some gloves, a few little applicator things, just a tiny kit here. So let me go underneath and I'll show you what I'm faced with. Okay, so I'm lying on my back looking straight up at the gray tank here. This is the corner that's caused the problem. I've just pulled away this support beam that holds the tank in place. It kind of holds along this this flap here. So there's a lot of stress right here. You can kind of see, let me see if I can push on that. Right there. If you just look at the crack, you can see it flexing in there. Get it a little closer. Yeah, so that crack has reappeared there. You can see where I've applied that Plasti Mend all over there. Tried to thicken it, and it just keeps cracking along that seam. So what I'm going to do is take a Dremel tool and get rid of most of this this stuff. And they say to kind of make a channel in the crack, kind of a V groove, so somewhere for the epoxy to flow into. And we'll give that a try. Okay. So I've gone in there, I took my Dremel tool and tried to kind of cut out some of the cracked area in there and give it somewhere for the epoxy to go run into, and then I gave everything a good sanding and cleaning. So now I'm going to apply the epoxy all to that corner area. Let's put out equal parts of the resin and the hardener, and we just mix them together. You can see it's quite thick. We call this a thickened epoxy, which is nice because it's easy to keep it in place. Kind of a runny epoxy, it always want to drip down, which is fine if you have something you can lay flat, but as the tanks are in there, I'm putting it up where the crack is and just run all down, but this stuff stays in place. So just blend them together for a minute or so. Seems to have a pretty long tool time. Doesn't really go off really quick, so that's nice. Okay, there we go. Found it actually easiest to spread it with the rubber glove. Try to work it into all the different nooks and crannies of that crack. So I'm going to let this thing dry a few hours, let it get kind of tacky, then I'll see if I can get another coat on it. So I decided to add some fiberglass cloth to that corner along the seam there. And then I'll recoat that with epoxy on top. I'm trying to build it up a little bit on that corner, kind of give it some more strength. Okay, here's how it looks the next day after drying overnight. Seems to have hardened up quite nicely in there. So we'll give that a try, and I'll report back and let you know if this repair holds up or not. So I'll link you to the West Systems website page on this G-Flex stuff. I noticed you can also just buy the tubes alone and save a few bucks versus buying the this plastic repair kit. You can just get the G-Flex epoxy by itself. The kit's kind of nice, so you get the gloves and the mixing things. You also get these little mixing pallets to go on. I see here it says approximate working time is 75 minutes. That's pretty good. And one thing I didn't like, there wasn't much smell at all to this stuff. That Plasti Mend stuff, I had to wear a ventilator. It was so harsh. So that's one kind of advantage here. So I think this will be good to keep around the RV as well for repairs. Say I crack a fender and I need to repair it, patch it on the road. I can see with some with this stuff and a little bit of that fiberglass cloth, I could mend a fender, you know, kind of patch it while we're out on the road until I can replace it. Also, I saw in here a good idea to repair strip screws, which happens a lot on our cabinets and stuff in the RV, is to fill the hole with this epoxy, let it cure a little while, then drill kind of a little pilot hole and then put the screw in. So that's a kind of a neat little idea. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. So we'll see how that works out, and I'll update you as to how that repair held up for me. Till next time, Ray from LoveYourRV.com. Thanks for watching. Cheers, everyone.